Australians, or let us rejoice.
For we are 1 and free is what I realized.
Young and free.
It used to be young and free. They've changed it to 1 and free.
Snoop Dogg, Wiz Khalifa, wild, young and free.
So for that, I'm boycotting Lego. Fuck you, Denmark.
Is Lego Danish?
Yeah.
Oh,
hey,
wow.
Legoland's from Denmark. Fuck you, Denmark.
Welcome back to Critical Banter. This is the podcast where we take the very best bits from your favorite late night shows and package them into one single podcast. This week, knockout stages. We are back, with our either well or not so well received hot takes and predictions. We'll be giving some of our prediction on the latter stage of the World Cup. And we have some rare units that we'd like to dob in on our fan favorite segment, Dob in a Rare Unit. But for that drop the week, we got me, Miguel. We don't have Ro. And I feel like we've said this a lot. We don't have Kush either. It's another solo episode. Coincidentally, when we wanted to do the World Cup again.
Yeah, I mean, it's weird. I felt like I saw them this morning. I saw them in my dreams, maybe.
Yeah, I felt like
they were right here.
I was like with them, right? And then all of a sudden they're gone. But alas, it's
niche.
It's the inside joke.
It's one for us.
Well, it's just you and I. We are back.
And fuck, what a week. It's
going on.
Bit happening this week. I want to bring up. There's a couple of things I want to bring up. First, I don't know. We're doing rare units later on, but I want to know is this rare? I did something yesterday, and I don't know if it's rare, so I won't put in the rare unit segment. I want to talk about it here. So last night I went to a concert, and it was actually a festival. I didn't realize until I was there, because there was like 4 or 5 opening acts, and like there was bars and like a carnival like kind of atmosphere. So, and it was the first one I've been to in like 3 years since COVID. But it started at 6, but then the main act didn't come on until 8:30. So I'm like, we're not going to go until 8:30. So we got to go somewhere else to get drinks. And I was going with one of my workmates, one of my old workmates. And we bought these tickets about a year ago, and I completely forgot about it. And so I was actually talking to someone else, and they're like, so it was a Rufus concert. I was like, I'm going to Rufus on Saturday. And I'm like, oh yeah, I think I vaguely remember buying Rufus tickets some time ago. So I messaged my mate. I'm like, hey, do we have Rufus this Saturday? And he's like, no, it's actually Friday. And I messaged him on Tuesday. And I'm like, oh shit, so what are we doing? And he's like, well, I have my work Christmas party on Friday. And I'm like, oh, okay. So like, are we still good? He's like, yeah. You can come. You can pre with us, and then we'll go to the concert. And I sat on that for a day. I didn't reply for a bit. I'm like,
do you crash a work Christmas party?
Do I crash a work Christmas party? And so yesterday at 5:30, I got on the bus, went to the city, and I crashed his work Christmas party.
What's the scale of this Christmas party? Is it 10 people? Is it 50 people, 100 people, 1,000 people?
It was in the vicinity of about 70 to 100 people. And they had like the upstairs area of this bar in the city.
Right.
So I get there, and he's like, I'll be down in a second. So I was just like the downstairs bar was like open to the public. So I was just like standing next to the bar. And then this man comes downstairs holding 2 drinks. He's got like the wristband. And he gives it to me. He's like, I'll be back in a second. And he's like, these are yours, down them. I'll be back in a second. So I'm sitting there by myself.
2 beers, double parked.
2 gin and tonics, actually.
I
didn't even start with the beers. I went straight to the spirits. I was sitting there downing drinks. And then 20 minutes later, he comes back with 4 Canadian Clubs and Dry. And so he puts them down. And then he was standing. We talked for a bit and we were drinking. And then and he's like, all right, I'm going to go upstairs and grab some more. And I'm like, mate, at this point, I'll just come up with you. Like, I'm sure everyone's pretty cooked up there. Apparently they were drinking since 12. So I'm like, I'm sure everyone's pretty pissed. And, they're not going to notice one extra person. So we went up there. And then I think I had like a considerable amount to drink in a short amount of time. So it was starting to hit me. And once I start to get a bit drunk, I get a bit chatty.
A bit rowdy.
I get a bit rowdy.
Howdy, let's get rowdy.
I get a bit confident. So I went up there, and mate, I was chatting up to his MDs, the receptionists, the HR people, the marketing people. I was just zigging and zagging through their Christmas party. They were asking me like, where are you?
What division are you in?
I'm like, I'm in sales. I'm a BDM, mate. Turns out they don't even actually have any BDMs. So... But luckily, like some of the junior people didn't know that. So they just went along with it. So I was having a great time. Some of the senior people knew that. And then I had to come clean. I'm like, I'm actually so-and-so's friend. We used to work together. And they were actually fine with it. They would drink, they had a couple of drinks.
Yeah, because it's like 100 people. What's one more?
Exactly. And they were actually like, they're like, do you want to get a drink on our bar tab? And I'm like, yeah, I'll have one. Little do they know I had about 4 or 5 earlier.
You have one from the MD. Then you have one from the junior guy. And you have one from...
So... we were there, I think, for about 2 hours. And, mate, I was whining and dining. I was networking. I was spruiking my job to these guys. I'm like, yeah, we could use some of your services, blah, blah, blah. I was actually doing a bit of sales work. And then they were actually going to kick on somewhere else. And like, oh, you guys should come with us. I'm like, look, I'll get out of your hair. You guys have been so respectful, but, we're going to go... We're at a concert.
Did you trade LinkedIn details or emails potentially?
I didn't, but I can through my friend. I'm sure I can get a few connections. So I want to ask: was that rare behavior, or was that just opportunistic?
Yes, it's rare.
Oh, come on.
But no, I would say it's not. It would be rarer if you didn't come clean.
Yeah, okay.
I think you were there on fair terms. They welcomed you. Ultimately, they welcomed you in.
They did,
and you were welcome to stay. So I think that's fine. Initially, going into a different officer's Christmas party was a bit rare. Deciding that you wanted to front that is brave.
Not only did I take their drinks, I took their food as well. They had like these beautiful sliders there. It was actually beautiful.
I think the fact that you went in there deciding, you know what, I'm gonna pretend that it's fun, but it's also rare.
Yeah, okay. I can live with that.
It's harmless rarities,
So then it was in the Domain. So we went to the Domain, and then there was like, I reckon 10,000 people there. So it was packed. And we got there at 8:30. They were kind of come out at 8:45. And we were going to be right at the back. And I did something which I reckon a few months ago on this podcast, I complained about people doing, and I did the exact.
Maskless.
No, I hate it when people like, you've come early, you get to the front of the show, and then you have people who just push their way through.
Oh my God.
So me and my friend used me as a battering ram, and we just pushed our way through the front.
I hate people like that.
And we were getting dirties from everyone.
I hate people like that.
But then I started doing I'll be like, we would walk through and I'll kind of look into the distance, like somewhere in the middle of the mosh and be like, oh, I can see them. Like it's a bit further. And then my mate would be like, oh yeah, I can see John. Let's keep going. And so we did one of those ones.
I was here before type vibe.
And there was this one guy in particular. Like, this guy was like dead set 7 foot, and he was like standing. He was like a beacon, like a lighthouse. And so like we were walking through, and my friend just kept saying, "Oh yeah, that's our friend. You see that tall guy? That's our friend. We're going to him. So we kept going, and we just went straight past him. And we got to about, I reckon, maybe 20 meters, 30 meters from the stage. Like, so it was pretty close, and like dead set in the middle. But like we couldn't get any further. Like we tried to go, and people like legit like throwing elbows at us. Like, get the fuck.
I was gonna say that's the problem when you walk through the crowds. There's different levels of resistance.
Yeah. Like at the back, there was absolutely none. Through the middle, it was
because the people at the back don't feel a right that they were there 2 hours ago.
Exactly.
They've earned this spot. But I think on the spectrum, I'm one of those that
I would hate
gets in the way.
Yeah.
Shoves them a little.
Exactly.
Like nothing you can call out and be like, why the fuck are you doing this? But I'll make it.
We were straight getting called out. People were like, what are you guys doing? Get to the back. They're like, oh, you can't go in front of us. You can stay behind us, but you can't get in front of us.
And you're like,
we were demonizing a lot of people. So I'll come. So yesterday, probably not the best showing from me yesterday. I'm trying to actually remember if I said any rogue things at the Christmas party. My friend assured me I didn't, but I don't know.
There's some things you shouldn't have said.
Maybe. Speaking of things you shouldn't have said, I want to bring up Kanye. I don't know. Are we allowed to talk about Kanye?
Depends how we talk about him.
Look, I'm sure everyone's, seen what's happened, and there's been a lot of people who've come out and condemned him.
Also unquotable. We're not going to be saying it, so it cannot be taken out of context.
I don't really have much to say about it. I'm sure you've seen it by now. I just want to know, let's see, so you saw he went on Alex Jones's show, and he was firstly wearing whatever he was wearing. I don't know why. And then he was saying all those things. The funniest thing was, he said what he said, and Alex Jones was like, Alex Jones looked scared. He was like, what the fuck did this guy just say? When Alex Jones is the guy who said Sandy Hook was faked. He's the guy who said that there's chemicals in the water is turning frogs gay. If you're saying things that this guy is getting scared of,
no, because the problem is we'll say how it is. Kanye has said some anti-Semitic things, in the past, right? And obviously he said some anti-Semitic things, whatever, and could be misinterpreted in quotation marks.
Yeah,
obviously not.
No,
but so then, as a saving grace, Alex Jones, at least he's not Hitler. At least he's not this.
Yeah.
And then Kanye's just like, oh, but actually,
He's like, yeah.
So that's why he's stunned. He's trying to defend him.
And he was saying they did good things. They're not that bad. Blah blah blah.
Yeah, and he was trying. Trying to defend him that he's not a fucking Nazi. Yeah. And then all of a sudden he's saying things that might make him seem like one. So that's why Alex Jones what's going on here?
And then he went on Twitter, and I think he did some more anti-Semitic stuff. And then, see, the thing is, so if you haven't seen, he was unbanned from Twitter a few weeks ago, and now he's been banned again.
Is he banned again?
He's banned again, But apparently, a lot of people are saying it's not because of the apparently he did all the anti-Semitic stuff, but then he also put up an unflattering picture of Elon Musk as well.
That can't be.
And then he got banned after that. So people are saying Elon banned him because he did that,
Not
rather
because
than
of
the
hate
yeah,
speech.
yeah.
Yeah, it's weird. It's a weird one. I saw his he had a tweet that was like, ban all pornography. Did you see that one?
No, I didn't see that one.
It's like, ban all pornography because all pornography is a type of pedophilia. Because you're watching someone's daughter.
What?
And it's just
this
like
guy is
this man is unhinged.
so unhinged.
And my problem is all these
And it's not even entertaining anymore. It's just sad and like
Yeah.
concerning.
every little outburst he has, every like major event he has, I'd like to go to r/Kanye. Kanye subreddit, just see the sentiment.
Are they all defending him?
Sentiment is dropping by the
Oh,
by the
really?
end. This time everyone's just like, we've been dick riding him for years.
It's time to hop
It's the
off.
last straw.
That's
Just
shame.
because like the whole tweet, the very first time he did the anti-Semitic shit, the stands were like, oh, but he just wants to get out of his Adidas contract.
Yeah.
He
I
just
saw
wants
that.
to get out of all his
He's a
contracts.
genius. Blah, blah, blah.
And then videos came out. He's like, oh, Kanye saying like, whenever in history did someone was able to get out of their contract with one tweet.
Yeah.
So I was like, everyone was sort of like, there could be a bit of genius about
Yeah,
it, blah,
he
blah,
meant
blah.
that, blah, blah,
But
blah.
then
Nah,
You can't-
dude, he's just an idiot.
you
He's
can't
an idiot.
defend this.
No, you can't. I got one more thing. So I was down in Melbourne last week, which is why I wasn't on last week's episode. And I went to go watch. So I was there while Tunisia was playing Australia, and that was the Saturday night. And so we went to Fed Square, and I don't know if people might not have seen this, but Federation Square is like a big public square in Melbourne, and they often show live sport there, whether it be soccer, cricket, and it's usually the national team, so the Australian team playing. And so when we went, there was like, I think they were saying a couple thousand people there packed into this square, and the teams came out and they were doing the national anthems, and then it started like it was a little murmur, and suddenly it started to grow and grow, and suddenly everyone was singing the national anthem around me.
Should be.
And I realized I actually don't know the words.
You forgot it.
It's been that long.
What shirt are you wearing?
I know. I'm wearing the Socceroos shirt, up the boys, but I realized, because in primary school we used to sing the national anthem every week at assembly. We even did the second verse for some reason. But since then, that was what, 13 years ago, I actually don't fully know the words. I would say it. I'm like, oh, everyone's saying a different word to me. And so I was like, am I not patriotic? And secondly, I want to say, the Australian national anthem is pretty fucking shit. It is not a good anthem.
How does it go?
It's like a sing-songy bullshit.
Australians, all let us rejoice.
For we are one and free is what
Not
I
young
realized.
and free.
It used to be young and free. They've changed it to one and free.
Snoop Dogg, Wiz Khalifa, wild, young and free.
Maybe that should be our anthem.
Fuck, what's the next line?
With
We are one and free with golden soil and wealth for toil. What the hell does that mean?
no idea. And then our land is girt by sea.
What does girt mean?
What does girt mean, honestly? I know girth, but I don't know girt.
We'll recite the now. Our lands abound in nature's...
We're not singing the anthem. Stop. It's a freaking shit anthem. Like if you hear dude, the US anthem, mate, that hypes me up, bro. I'm not even American, but when I hear the anthem, I want to go out there and shoot someone.
What is the anthem again? Well, how does it start?
Oh, say,
yeah.
can you see? They did that. The French one's
I like
good.
the Canadian one.
The Canadian.
Oh, Canada.
Even New Zealand's one's good, and they have half it's in Maori.
Isn't
India's one is amazing. Oh, dude, the
Isn't
Australian one is not a pump-up song.
And the English one's a bit rogue, isn't it?
No, the English one is the worst one in the world.
God save the king, God save the queen.
God save some old cunt who fucking...
Why is my national pride dependent on...
No. At least the New Zealand one, I'm pretty sure is God save New Zealand. No, save the country. Fair enough. Do we need to change it to, I don't know, Land Down Under or AC/DC, maybe Back in Black. That was our anthem. That would pump me up before a game.
So I've got the lyrics up on Music Match.
Is that the official lyrics?
It should be. Well, I remember there's some rare...
Girt. Girt is the rarest word. So girt for our listeners means to be surrounded. So when we say our land is girt by sea, it just means our land is surrounded by sea.
We've boundless plains to share, with courage let us all combine. I don't remember that part.
Dude, this is some of the most pussy...
We'll toil with hearts and hands. Why are we toiling? Why
Dude,
so much toil?
Our song is about struggle and working hard, bro. I want a song about, going out there and getting victory, like the American one. Or the Indian one as well, similar to that.
To make this commonwealth of ours renowned of all the lands.
Dude,
We're proud of being a commonwealth.
I hate it. I want to start a petition. Let's change the anthem.
What would you like, a new song, or is there a song out in the open that you feel?
Yeah, you got to take an
more?
old song. You know, maybe a Waltzing Matilda or a.
No, it's Waltzing Matilda. That's the one that's a bit ropey, isn't it? It has like Indigenous Australian sentiment.
Oh, does it? All right, then I take that back.
You know,
we shouldn't change that.
That's the one I was meant to look.
Then I changed. No, dude, surely we can get a great Aussie. There's so many good Aussie songs out there.
I come from a land down under.
Yeah, exactly, dude. Exactly. That should be the anthem. That would be fucking sick. Or like somebody that I used to know. Gotcha. Why not?
Yeah, I think it's to do because down came a jumbuck to drink at the billabong. Up jumped the swagging and grabbed him with glee.
What's the jumbuck?
There's too many words here. I just don't know. I think there is a thing about Waltzing Matilda. It's a bit ropey in terms of what the actual sentiment is.
We'll maybe skip that one, but I reckon let's make this thing. Let's try and find a new national anthem for this country because the current one we have is horrendous.
I think Eshe's by
Eshe,
Young and someone.
Yeah, or like a 1-4 song or something.
Exactly, that represents Australia better.
It actually does. It genuinely does. Because honestly, when I listen to the anthem, it puts me to sleep. Like it doesn't inspire nationalistic, pride. It doesn't pump me up. It doesn't. When I'm listening to the anthem, I'm like,
you're not like, when you watch the football, for example, the Italians, they're
belting it out, bro. Like that is.
So you're telling me the Australian national anthem doesn't inspire you?
Maybe not the Italian, a bit of right wing vibes there, but yeah, when you watch the Aussie boys, none of them, they're mumbling it. They to be honest, I doubt they even know the words. So yeah, I want like a good, strong national anthem where you just feel the pride. You feel the
running through your veins. I want national pride. I want patriotism.
Are we turning into a right wing podcast? Right wing nationalism, patriotism. All right, different kind of game this week. There's only 2 of us, so let's just stick to what we know.
Talk about a different game.
Different game, the world game. Football. Let's talk about World Cup.
World Cup.
So I will warn you, for the next 10, 15 minutes, you are going to get unadulterated football World Cup content.
But we'll do you a favor and not make the whole episode World Cup like we did once. So if this doesn't tickle your fancy,
skip ahead a bit.
No, don't care. Listen still.
No, listen. But otherwise, yeah, you'll have the rare units coming on. So that's back to more usual content. We're going to start off with some apologies, which I know we don't like to do here at Critical Banter. We don't like to be held accountable for things we've said. But I feel like we should because we got slandered for it on TikTok. So a few weeks ago, we did our predictions, our winners, flops, dark horses, etc., etc. So we'll maybe just quickly go back over what we said and what actually happened. So for the winners, we said Brazil. But obviously, we are recording this. The group stage has just finished a couple of hours ago. So we are just before the round of 16. The Aussies will be playing tonight. So we said winners Brazil. They're still in it. So, I mean, not bad so far.
We're not off.
We're not off.
Could be right, could be wrong.
Could be right, could be wrong. We said dark horses. You said?
We'll go to you first.
All right.
You said Denmark.
Okay. I'm getting clowned a lot on
You said
TikTok
not
for
only
this.
Denmark, you said Denmark to the finals.
I did say Denmark to the finals.
And where did Denmark land?
Denmark to the finals, I'll admit, was a stretch. All right. Absolutely was a stretch. I got caught up in the hype. But Denmark to qualify at the very least was a great prediction. If you look at their form, how they performed at the Euros, they're strong. They're strength. They don't have any superstar players. They're strength in unity.
It was a good logical statistical pick.
And it wasn't just me. There was a lot of people out there who were saying, Denmark could do absolute magic at this World Cup.
Yeah.
So then they finished. Look, if you put the table in reverse, they finished first. But no, they finished last in their group.
They got beat by our boys.
They got beaten by the Aussies, which I love. Absolutely love to see that. But yeah, I still stand by my prediction at the start. I still think that they should have been dark horses.
They underperformed is what we're saying.
They underperformed massively. And I said they were going to go deep into this tournament. The only place they're going deep is into economy class on their Qatar Airways flight back to Copenhagen. All right?
Absolutely.
They've let themselves down. They've let their country down. And most importantly, they've let me down.
Absolutely.
So for that, I'm boycotting Lego. Fuck you, Denmark.
Is Lego Danish?
Yeah. Hey, Legoland's from Denmark. Fuck you, Denmark.
Anyway, so my dark horses, I had 2, which is the key thing.
All right.
My first one was Senegal.
Which, great. But I think, from memory, I think I said at the time, they want dark horses.
No,
they were good. They were rated.
I rated pre-Mane.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, okay.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
But because of Mane getting injured, I went to Serbia.
Yes, I do remember that.
And my God, did that.
They're like our
horribly.
Danish brothers. They
come last.
They came up. But I feel like they probably put up a better fight than the Danes did.
What are you talking about?
In an arguably harder group as well.
Yeah, they had Brazil came first in that group, Switzerland second.
Two decent teams and
Cameroon.
not bad as well.
Look, there's no bad teams.
There's no bad teams
except
in that. What?
Qatar.
Oh, except for yes. Yeah.
I don't know how loudly I can say that one. But look, sometimes you win some, sometimes you lose some. I thought Serbia had good enough players, but it is what it is.
So we apologize for those shit predictions. Top scorers, we had Harry Kane, I said. You said...
I said Vinicius Jr.
So
I
if
did
we-
preface saying I was going to go
You
bold.
said you were going to go bold. You said you were going to go bold. I will
went
give
bold.
you that.
I didn't want to go an Mbappe.
No.
Kane, I'll say, was up there as one of my shouts. Neymar would have also been another one. That's, to me, was
Would
an
have
obvious
been...
one.
yeah. I mean, Mbappe was the big one that everyone was thinking.
Yeah, but Neymar got injured.
Neymar did get injured.
Mbappe's on like what, three?
3 goals.
3 goals. I think he's tied
So
top
it's-
scorer with like Rashford.
So it's Morata and Mbappe and Rashford and Yakpo and Enner Valencia all on 3 goals. Sorry,
If you're saying with my chest anyone said Morata would be up there, you're
No.
a filthy, dirty liar.
I'm pretty sure I said on this podcast that Spain were going to flop, and because they had Morata up top, and he's the donkey as a striker. So, I mean, who knows what we know. Bruno Fernandes has got 2. Fulkrug, the German one, off
striker.
the bench, both the goals. Abubakar, what a legend. Abubakar scores the winner against Brazil, takes his shirt off, gets a second yellow, sent off. Legend. Havertz is a coward, comes on, scores 2 goals. Mate, you guys already, where was this when you needed it the other 2 games?
Exactly.
So yeah, again, way off there
Did
as
you
well.
see when Kai Havertz was holding his man of the match trophy?
He looks so
It's
sad.
so funny. They have the man of the match trophy, but they know they're eliminated, so they're just sad.
The man looks so depressed.
And then if you saw this morning, like the South Korea geezer, that one, he's like fucking topless, like fucking cheering.
He's topless. He's wearing like the South Korean flag, mate. I love that from South
Vibes.
Korea. All right, next up, we also predicted flops for the tournament. We both said Belgium. There we go.
Who said we don't have ball knowledge? That's
TikTok,
ball
there you go.
knowledge.
Shove that up your ass. We knew that beautifully.
Kevin De Bruyne,
Flop
Lukaku,
City.
Hazard. Fuck off. My dad made a good point, but when he was watching the Belgium game, he's a Tottenham supporter, and he's like, he hasn't seen Vertonghen and Alderweireld in like 5 years. Why are they still playing in the fucking World Cup?
I mean, it's basically what we said. Like, if you look at that team, it was the same team as the 2018 team. It was the same team as the 2014 team. They're all, I think their average age was like 30 or 31. And apparently they all hate each other from the reports that are coming from the dressing room. So
it's funny because if you also look at like you can look at like 10 top capped players,
yeah.
like 8 of them start for
Yeah,
Belgium.
exactly.
So that tells you how washed they are.
Like, it's their golden generation, but the problem is there's no one coming up through it. And Roberto Martinez, their manager, literally stepped down a couple of hours after they lost.
He's such
cowardly.
Such an idiot, bro. Who put the Wigan manager as fucking...
Yeah. We didn't go fully into flop to this, but we did say that France wouldn't do as well.
Let's list them off. We said France wouldn't do well.
Yep.
We said Spain wouldn't do well.
Okay. Well, France, I will argue, they didn't look that good against Denmark, and they did lose to Tunisia, and I know they played their C team.
Bro, Chouameni was left back.
Yeah, okay, fine.
Camavinga was like
Fine,
right winger.
Okay, fine. But I still don't think they've played a proper team yet. Like, let's be honest.
They did play a proper team, and they beat them 4-1.
4-1, that's true. But we'll see. We'll see. The jury's still out on France, in my opinion.
And our last prediction from there was the boys,
The boys.
Australia.
And I jokingly said, we're going to win the World Cup. So in that regard, doing well. But then my actual answer was, and I got to hand in my citizenship now, I feel. But I said they would get out in the group stage. I thought we were going to come third, I believe is what I said.
Let me tell you what I've written in my notes, Annie. Australia, I said, round of 16 will beat Denmark.
Good. Very good.
Ball knowledge.
Ball knowledge. I'll give you that. That was a great prediction. And the boys have actually done so well.
Exactly.
Like, exceeded all expectations. And, the cliche that they keep saying, that Graham Arnold and all the players have just kept saying is, we're playing the Aussie way. It's all about grit, determination, just digging in, the Aussie battler style. So that's why we have, if you look at our possession in the last 3 games, like 30%, 20%, 30%. Like, it's not great to watch, but fuck, it's good, isn't it? All right, and now we'll move on to predictions of the round of 16. So the first game, Manny, is...
The first game we have, and I've just realized this episode will be out after these games.
Yeah. So this is how if there's, what, we're going to actually sit here and we're going to record every single possibility. We'll be like, All right, so Netherlands wins, and then a couple minutes later, all right, USA wins, and then Kush will just edit which one is correct. No. So we are recording this the night
before the very first game.
Yeah.
So no games.
So none of the games have happened.
By the time you see this episode, all
of them
games will have been played.
So you can, out of 8 games, you can see how either well we've done or badly we've done.
So first game, Netherlands, USA.
Netherlands, they look strong defensively. Goal scoring, they've been relying on
Cody Gakpo.
Yeah, and he's playing well, but yeah, some of their games are a bit grim to watch, I'm not going to lie. But like
it's the Louis van Gaal way.
It is. It's good tournament football. It's good knockout football.
Last time when Louis van Gaal was coach, they got to what, semi-finals, was it?
But then that was a much better team they had.
Flying Dutchman.
You had Robin van Persie up top.
Robin van Persie, Ian Robin, 7 defenders.
Exactly. And they don't have anyone of that kind of quality anymore. But
Memphis Depay, Cody Gakpo and Weghorst,
they get the job done. And look, again, USA I actually thought, coming into this, I hadn't seen much of the USA, but I've been hearing about how they've improved. Like, they didn't even make the last World Cup, right? And I've been hearing about how they've been steadily improving. They've got like a couple players in the Premier League.
A couple Leeds players.
Dude, they're actually not bad.
Juventus.
I watched that the England-USA game last week, and USA were actually pretty decent. Like, I thought England were actually a bit off the pace on that game. So,
but the question is Christian Pulisic going to play?
Yeah, if listeners didn't see this, he injured his dick after scoring the winner against Iran the other day. So hopefully he's
little Christian going to be back.
Who knows? I think it'll be a real cagey, low-scoring kind of game. I think maybe 1 or 2-0.
We'll give score predictions. You have to lock in a score prediction.
I'll say maybe 2-0 to Netherlands.
I was going to say 2-0 Netherlands as well. I think low scoring.
I don't see Netherlands conceding. And now that I've said that, watch them concede like 4 or something. But they have a very solid defense.
And I can't see Netherlands bagging a lot of goals.
No, neither can I.
But I think just the quality will see them through on that one. So we're saying 2-0. You and I are saying 2-0 Netherlands, USA.
Maybe we'll skip the next one. We'll go to the other ones and we'll leave that one for last.
We'll save it till the end.
We'll
tease you a little. In the next bracket, Japan, Croatia.
Wow, what a game.
This is
a game.
Tough one to decide.
Who did
Japan lose to? Costa Rica.
But they beat... So Japan in their group, they were in the group of death is what they called it. Spain, Germany, Costa Rica. First game, they beat Germany. They were down 1-0, came back 1-2-1. Second game, for some reason, their manager rested half their players. They played a weakened team. They lost 1-0 to Costa Rica.
Did they play a weakened team?
They played a weakened team. Which is madness because if they had just won that game, they would have qualified.
Yeah, wouldn't have to worry about that.
It was a must-win game against Spain. Came out 1-0 down, two goals in the second half. The second one, bit sus. Ball was in.
It's a sphere.
But
ball was in.
I love seeing the conspiracies come out, the anti-German conspiracy, blah, blah, blah. But ball was in. They won 2-1.
I love the Yadars coming out, the idiots coming out saying, bro, the base of the ball was out.
I love it. So Japan played beautifully. Beat the 2 strongest teams and lost to the weakest one. So they're a real Jekyll and Hyde. I think... And Croatia, I don't know. They weren't that convincing to me either in the group stages. I mean, this Croatia group was a bit how you going, to be honest. It was the one group where I didn't really care in general about that group.
Yeah, so it's such a nothing group.
They drew with Morocco, Morocco's a great team, but I watched that game. It was a fucking grim game. Like, nothing happened in 90 minutes. Then they absolutely smacked Canada. Canada went up 1-0, I'm pretty sure. And then
when Fonzie scored, there was scenes.
And then Croatia just got really angry and then smacked them 4-1. And then they drew 0-0 with Belgium. So, I mean, pretty...
You can't even beat Belgium.
They can't beat Belgium. They didn't beat Morocco. So, I mean, they're in pretty grim form. So
we're saying a full strength Japan team does the business.
I don't know, this Croatian team, man. They made the final of the World.
You know what? This was actually one of my predictions a while ago. I said I still back Croatia. Croatia will make it far in the group.
I don't know. This is a tough one. Do you go on form or do you go on experience in class?
My head says Croatia. My heart says Japan.
Yeah, I mean, let's be honest. I would love to see Japan. And let's put it out there. All the Asian teams.
Any of the Asian teams.
I'm backing all the Asian teams. I'm supporting 3 teams in the round of 16.
The big AFC.
The big AFC. They've done beautifully here. I think it's the first time they've ever had 3 teams in the round of 16. So beautiful. You love to see that for the region. Okay, I'll say... Look, Japan have somehow come back from 1-0 down twice. I reckon they'll do it again. I reckon 2-1 Japan, in my opinion. But I reckon, I don't know. Who knows?
I'm going to go, all these picks, I'm going to go with my heart. Japan 1-0.
Japan 1-0. All right.
Next one we have, might not be so difficult. Brazil, South Korea. South Korea are going to get slapped silly. I don't care. They've been so unconvincing this whole tournament.
But the scenes this morning.
Yeah, but that's because like there's some magic in the last round of the World Cup group.
Yeah.
There's always magic.
And there's always the danger of, when you're coming into the last game. So South Korea came into the last game. They were playing Portugal, who had already qualified, but South Korea needed to win to go through. And there's always the danger of when you have like a massive must-win game, like it's basically your final. Like you get up for it, you get so hyped, like you leave it out and like they scored literally in the last minute to win, to qualify for the round of 16. So there's always the danger that you spent all your energy and your emotion into this game, and then you're going to come in flat against a Brazil who as well had qualified. So in their last game, they lost to Cameroon, as we said earlier. Sorry, they lost to was it Cameroon? Yeah, it's Cameroon, as they lost earlier. But they played a weakened team as well.
That's what I'm saying. You can't take these like miracle games in the last.
Exactly.
Because it's so unfair. Like France as well. Chouameni left back.
Yeah.
Camavinga right wing. Like,
and so Brazil and France as well, like they're going to be fully rested. And like South Korea, they're going to have to get up. They're going to have to get amped up again for a second game within 3 days against a well-rested, Neymar.
Full strength.
Gabriel Jesus, Richarlison.
All them lot.
So I agree. I don't think they'll get slapped silly. I think, I think, and Brazil have only scored 3
Son
goals.
has been very unconvincing.
Yeah, but he's obviously got those injury
He's injured,
concerns
but that's why.
Yeah. I think I'll say Brazil. I'll say Brazil 1-0.
Brazil 3-0.
Really? Okay.
I just don't think they have it in them, to be completely honest with you. Next one, France, Poland. I think this is another
Poland are going to get
slap silly.
Dude, Poland are horrendous. How they've even... I would rather see Saudi Arabia or Mexico have qualified over...
How did they get it through?
They play some of the worst. I think they call it football terrorism. It's disgusting
It's
football
Lewandowski and Inshallah.
It's Lewandowski and Szczesny out the back saving him. Szczesny's been their best player. And if your goalkeeper's been your best player, it's grim. It's so grim.
I'm a Manchester United fan. It's been grim for years.
So, yeah, not convinced by Poland. But like I said as well, France as well, I don't think they've played a good team and they still won't be playing a good team. I think they'll
full strength, they have to turn it up. They will turn it up.
I would say France 3. Let's give... maybe Lewandowski will get another goal. I'll say 3-1 France.
4-1 France.
Yeah, I think comfortable France win.
Next one. England, Senegal.
This could actually be an interesting game.
Is it coming home?
Well, it depends on how Southgate, sets the team up.
That's the thing. It's literally all in England's hands. It's just what they want to do with it.
They
want to set up 5 at the back, 2 CDMs and fucking Kane and Sterling up front. Do they want to do that, or they want to be bold?
It's like if the US went to war, but instead of taking their drones and their rail guns and all that, they just went with like little pistols or like the old bayonets from back in the day. Like England have all these weapons, but they just don't use them properly.
Yeah.
Like Phil Foden just sits on the bench, who's arguably probably their best midfielder.
Yeah,
like you said, he plays 2 CDMs. Some of the just again football terrorism
decisions,
and they're very, very reliant on Harry Kane.
Against USA, they needed a goal. They took off Bellingham for Jordan Henderson.
Yeah,
what are you doing here? You have Jack Grealish, you have Foden, you have all these players on the bench,
like all these creative players, but you're getting them to play in like the most boring way possible. Like it's safety first with England, but that is. Like that's how they've been getting through these tournaments, right? Like they've managed to turn it around because they're very like solid at the back. Like Harry Maguire is having a great tournament.
Yeah,
if only he could bring that form across to United. But like it's the safety of having the 2 centre backs next to him, having
To be fair, he's been playing well at 4 at the back this tournament.
I thought they moved to a 3 at the back.
They've been playing 4 this whole time. Every single time, it's been 4. First game, Trippier, Shaw. Second game,
didn't Walker play last game?
And the final game was Shaw. Walker.
And then Stones,
Maguire,
right.
I think.
I thought they'd been playing 3 at the back. No, because Trent started the last game. Yeah, and it was Walker and Trent, I'm pretty sure.
I think it was I don't know, whatever it may be.
Yeah.
I think England's quality will take them through.
It won't be good football. It'll just be individual brilliance that gets them through.
Yeah.
But that's not like discount Senegal. They got a strong team as well. But I would say it's like England are pretty strong. I would say 1-0 England or like a 2-1 England.
I was picking either one of those. Do I back a clean sheet?
Actually, I don't think... No, Senegal's attack is a bit how you go. I would say 1-0 England.
Yeah, I'll go 1-0 England as well. Morocco, Spain. I've got the Spain.
You got the Spanish one on?
I've got the FIFA 2010 World Cup badge on. Morocco will... Nah.
thing is, I haven't
Spain
watched.
have become a tidy little team,
They have. They've been very solid.
but they lost to Japan.
But that's because like
They drew to Germany,
They did.
who are out.
And then they absolutely smacked.
But they smacked Costa Rica
So
7.
they've only had one good performance, maybe. No, they played pretty well against Germany, to be honest.
Yeah, Germany's it's a card game to.
But I haven't. I'll admit I haven't seen much of Morocco, so I can't really comment much on them. But I would assume surely.
The last game was Morocco Belgium, right?
No, it was Croatia Belgium.
Whatever. I watched Morocco play against Belgium.
Canada. Oh no, sorry.
No, the game before.
Yeah.
Morocco are a tidy team, but I don't know if that's because Belgium are
Are they just
shite.
one of those ones with like just very solid defensively? Just they know their roles.
No, but they've got quality players.
They got like
Hakim
Hakimi, Ziyech,
Mazraoui.
I thought he got injured, Mazraoui.
I think he got a little injured, but they've just got quality.
They got
players.
a good little
like they have Buffal, who used to play
Buffal
for
played for Southampton.
I don't know where he plays now. They
No
got
idea.
their striker plays in La Liga. I know that for a fact.
Yes, I've packed him a few times in
exactly.
Ultimate Team.
They got,
You're right. Yeah, so they have
They
quality.
got Saiss, the guy that used to play for Wolves.
The defender.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they've got quality players over the pitch, and like Hakim Ziyech is like a
A big player from
He's
them.
a catalyst.
Yeah. But are they good enough to beat Spain? And I feel like Luis Enrique is a very good manager, and I feel like he'll set them up in a way that I don't know. It's just can they score against Spain? Like Spain's got a pretty good defense.
Am I sold by Spain's defense?
I am so far.
Shot stopper, not great.
Not great. Yeah, the keeper's not great.
Apparently they had a keeper, that they didn't call up. That's a great shot.
But he's never performed for Spain though.
because he can't use his feet. But that's besides the point.
I would say as Spain again, like a real, like jarring kind of 1-0 kind of like low scoring game is what I would say.
I don't know why I've worn a Spain jersey today.
Are you saying Morocco?
Because I'm going to say Morocco's going to win
like it.
1-0.
All right,
I'm
good.
going bold there.
Going bold.
Second last one, Portugal, Switzerland. Portugal, again, so unconvincing, bro. Well,
Yeah, but Switzerland are not great either.
yeah, but that's the thing. That it's like a...
I'm not gonna lie, the last few games in these like the England game, the Spain game, and the Portugal game are pretty grim. No, not grim, but like I think
when the round of 16 is still, there's heavy favourites in most fixtures.
Exactly.
I think when we get to the quarterfinals, that's when
the-
it's difficult.
But then
decisions to be made.
this World Cup, this group stage has always been about. This one in particular has been about the upsets,
always
the
a lot of
underdogs. So I don't know. Maybe we could be wrong, to be honest with some of us. South Korea could turn it up and smack. Maybe not smack, but they could do an upset.
Yeah. USA could be Netherlands, that sort of thing.
I'll say Portugal, Switzerland. Portugal have looked good though.
Have they?
I thought they've looked against Ghana. They had some good attacking movements.
Yeah, but they got a geriatric up front, bro.
That is
He's
true.
kind of useless.
You know what? I also realized we haven't predicted any draws yet. So for this one, I'm going to say 1-1 and then Portugal on penalties.
It's going to pens.
Going to pens.
I just think I want to predict Portugal not to go through because I'm just so unconvinced, but it's Switzerland.
Yeah.
What is Granit Xhaka and Shaqiri going to do?
To be fair, Xhaka's been playing well. Doesn't mean anything to you?
Yes, and?
Okay, all right.
Portugal 2-0.
All right.
The
big one.
Last game we are going to today. We're going to go back to the bracket. Argentina versus Australia. Argentina versus Australia. What are we saying is going to happen in that game?
I mean, firstly, massive to even reach the round of 16. Like, I feel like the general Australian person doesn't understand how big of a achievement this actually is. Like,
because when you start to hear stats of first clean sheet since
yeah, and then first time to win 2 wins in the group.
Yeah.
Only the second time we've made the round of 16 in our history.
Because I think there's a lot of recency bias when it comes to the Socceroos.
Yeah.
Sounds like we did well in the Asian Cup.
Yeah.
We did well in the Asian Cup. Pre-Graham Arnold, we just steamroll qualifiers, Asian team,
But then
whatever.
we've been stinging it up in the group stage the last few times.
But then we can also blame that to our groups, right? Our groups have been
Pretty good.
Grim,
yeah.
bro.
But I think this is a massive achievement. So no matter whatever happens, I think the boys have done so well. And we've exceeded expectations.
absolutely beating Denmark.
Yeah, that was huge.
I predicted, but that was an
was huge.
off-center fucking
Huge.
shout.
And I was listening to a podcast, a football podcast the other day, and they're like, Australia will be the weakest team in the round of 16. And I'm like,
When I scrolled on TikTok the morning after Australia-Denmark, everything, it was all compilation of Goldbridge saying they're going to come last.
I've seen everyone
Mini
flaming
Minter
them.
saying they're last.
Beautiful.
And then you see Lecky strike, bottom corner, scenes.
But, even if you're the weakest team in the round of 16, you're still, the 16th best team in the world,
That is true. We've reached
So-
top 16. You know what else I've seen? Spanion. Have you seen Spanion?
Oh,
on
dude,
TikTok?
he's been getting around the ball. He's been like amping, and he's also been doing the thing like people don't understand how big an achievement this actually is.
He's been backing the boys despite all the hubbub about
and I love it.
not being
I
big.
love Spanion.
Did you see the Socceroos gave him?
They gave him a jersey number 11.
It says Spanion on it.
Spanion on it.
Oh my god,
Fuck.
that's unreal.
Yeah, I mean, this is going to be unreal. Like, you're going to have the greatest player, I mean, in my opinion, the greatest player of all time on the pitch.
Yeah.
And Lionel Messi will be sharing it with him.
Yeah,
like, it'll be...
It's,
like,
it's an honor to be marked by Big Harry Suter. I agree.
I was going to go with Mitch Duke, but yeah.
You know what I love? One of our mates were watching the Australia-Tunisia game, and he was just so shocked how lengthy like Harry Suter was, bro. How like
no, he was like 6'7"
how like
or something.
fucking big and how much of a unit he was, bro. Every like tackle is, oh my god, he's so fucking huge.
Look, I don't think...
But Argentina, let's talk about Argentina for a tiny bit.
I'm not convinced with Argentina, bro.
Who like Lautaro, Martinez,
I think I've
Lionel
watched
Messi.
I pretty much watched
Angel
all three of
Di
their group
Maria.
games. Saudi Arabia, they were actually that first half. They like if he stayed on side, they could have won like 4-0 or whatever.
Wasn't one of them he was actually onside? Lautaro's
No,
goal?
I think by a technicality he was actually offside. But like they looked all right there. Then against Mexico for the first half they were pretty bad, and then they managed to score one, and then like there was a bit of pressure off, and then they were able to get a second one.
Yeah.
And then against Poland, I think they actually look kind of decent against Poland.
That one where Messi scored?
Messi scored, yeah. But I just overall, they're not playing to like what everyone thought Argentina could play to.
Because I was not convinced by Portugal and I was not convinced by Argentina because everyone's whole thing is like Ronaldo, Messi will
Ronaldo,
carry
blah,
them.
blah, blah. But it is true that Argentina are so reliant on
The thing
Messi.
is, Argentina, exactly, but that's been how it is for the past decade or so.
Yeah,
They've
yeah,
been
yeah.
reliant on Messi,
Just his individual
who was in
brilliance.
his prime.
Yeah.
Now, I just...
Old man Messi.
He has moments, but I just don't think he has it to carry a whole team, especially round of 16 World Cup.
Yep.
That is a big ask.
And it's going to be hard for him. Like, he's going to come up against, like, Australia are a pretty physical team. Like you said, Harry Suter is, like, literally double his size.
Bro, it's like when we played football the other day, the other team, their best two players were like small, like technical players. And Senny and bro, just put something in them and they just don't like it.
Like, yeah, that thing is, right, we don't have to outplay Argentina, right? We just have to put them off enough. And then, like we've been doing the last few games, just sitting back, solid defense, and just looking to hit them on a counter. And all it takes is one goal.
It's like when you, like in basketball, for example, you play a LeBron James team, right? You just force someone else to beat you.
Yeah.
So nullify Messi.
Get the ball out of his feet or hands
and
or whatever.
by God, if fucking Lisandro Martinez scores the winning goal, like so be it, whatever. Like, but you have to nullify the biggest threat.
Yeah, exactly. You got to shut down Messi.
And historically, Messi has been able to like, whatever the defense has been, he's been able to like.
Oh yeah, I mean,
go through it.
The GOAT.
And it's the big question mark is, has he shown it this World Cup? They've gone they went 36 whatever games unbeaten.
Yeah,
but when the lights are brightest, can they pull it out?
I mean, he did score that very nice goal against Mexico, which finally broke the.
Well, where was that against Saudi Arabia, for example? You know what I mean?
But I mean, like I said, on another day they could have scored 3 or 4 in the first half.
Is Argentina going to win the World Cup on Messi moments?
Well, yeah, no, you can't win a tournament based on one player.
Exactly.
But I don't know. In my opinion, I think we should do what other teams have been doing to Neymar and just fucking foul the shit out of Messi. Just literally, everyone just take a turn to like fucking get in there and just studs up on his like ankle or whatever. It's a very aggressive way of playing. Look, I don't think we're going to get battered by them. Like, it's not going to be a 4-1 France, in my opinion. I think Argentina haven't showed that, and I think the last few games have really given us a lot of confidence in our defense and in our like organizational play. So that we're going to be solid at the back. I think it honestly might come down to like a moment of brilliance from Messi. And Messi, I mean, Argentina as well have gotten a lot of penalties. So that's a lot of things. Another thing we need to like.
We're a bit ropey in the box.
Let's not.
Big Harry Sutar's.
He loves to go down.
It scares me a little.
He loves to slide.
So it's the one Basaka mentality. You let them get the ball, then you fucking tackle them.
So I think if we can keep them out of our box, let them ping from outside the box for all they want. I back Matty Ryan, right? He's a great shot stopper. But I think.
Yeah, but the quality of Di Maria, Messi.
Yeah.
It's not the same as whoever we were playing before.
But something I've seen like Graham Arnold do, apparently like when they're doing like the analysis, like the pre-game going in, apparently he doesn't include the team name, he doesn't include any of the player names, he just has like the numbers. And it's like when you're like, all right, so you're, Aziz Bayic, your left back, you're defending against the right wing, number 10 here, but he won't put a name. He would just be like, all right, so when number 10 comes here, you do this. If he goes infield, you track him, blah, blah, blah. He doesn't use any of the names. He wants to remove Obviously, it's a bit hard with Argentina, Messi, like literally.
Yeah, the stardom factor.
But his whole big thing is like these guys are just players. Like you've played footy your entire life.
It's just a football match.
It's just
not,
a game.
you're not versing God.
Yeah, exactly. You're not playing, the legend that is Messi. You're playing just a game.
You're playing a number 10 playmaker.
So I don't think we're going to be like starstruck or like respectful or whatever. Like we're going to be there to win.
That being said, that's all well and good until it gets to Lionel Messi. It's Lionel Messi. It's not like fucking Griezmann, right? Okay, he's a good player, but it's not God level. It's Lionel Messi, my friend. Once in a lifetime opportunity.
I know.
A lot of these players.
That's why I'm saying, in my opinion, I think it's going to be a 1-1 draw, and I think we'll go out in pens. Is what I'm saying.
What I will say is it will be an honor for Matt Ryan to share the field on Messi's last World Cup match.
Yeah.
1-1 and we win on penalties, my friend.
It'll be Andrew Redmayne who gets in. I'm pretty sure if we got
It'll be an honor for Andrew Redmayne to save Lionel Messi's last World Cup penalty.
We'll see.
It'll be an honor.
It would be. Alrighty, listeners, as you know, our episode is always sponsored by our very good friends at Manscaped. 'Tis the season for clean balls. Fa la 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 la. Our friends at Manscaped are helping you clear your driveway for safe travels this holiday season. From stocking stuffers to gift exchange, Manscaped products are the top of every wish list. Manscaped is a one-stop shop for all your holiday needs. They have the perfect gift in the Platinum Package 4.0, which, Miguel, we received a few weeks ago.
Absolutely.
And I must say, I've been loving it.
Quality.
I'll tell you what's in it. You get a lawnmower 4.0,
Standard.
top of the range. A weed whacker.
Wow.
Absolute brilliant. A 2-in-1 shampoo and conditioner, and I have to say, I love this. Because I hate having to use the shampoo, then you got to use the conditioner. It's an extra couple of minutes in the shower.
Wasting water, wasting
my time. I could be doing other things, all right? So now you get a 2-in-1 shampoo and conditioner. So you're doing both at once, and it is brilliant to use. And while you're in the shower, use the body wash. Mate.
You can wash head to toe.
Head to toe. The gooch, everywhere you need. You get it right in there. You also get a deodorant, a crop preserver, crop reviver, and a magic mat. You also get the boxes, which, I don't know how many more times we need to say it on this podcast.
Wearing them right now.
Show the no, don't. The boxes are quality, like genuinely quality. So, look, if you don't want the other stuff, at least get the boxes. Trust me, get it. If you have a dad, a brother, an uncle, a granddad, I'm sure they're going to enjoy the boxes.
Are top tier.
So what better holiday gift than giving the gift of good hygiene and a few laugh? As I said, Manscaped offers a handful of their liquid formulations, the shampoo, the body wash, upstairs and downstairs deodorant. Anything you can think that you need for your body, Manscaped have it. So what are you waiting for? Or, Manny, what do the listeners need to do?
You go on manscaped.com. You listen to what Sen said. Find all the fine products that you like. You add it to the cart. You're about to pay. You see discount code and you're like, do I need these external parties to find me a discount code so I can get 5% off, 10% off? No, you don't. You need 3 letters. TCB, pop them in, apply code, bang, 20% off.
We've got you covered here. You're doing your Christmas. I'm sure everyone's doing their Christmas shopping now. You got a few more weeks.
You need to get in.
Yeah. I mean, let's
shopping in.
Don't wait any longer. You don't. We've given you all the tools, so why are you waiting?
Well, you don't need to think of anything. Go to a website, buy some stuff, put that code in. It's saving so much money.
And the thing is, right, this is actually, these are universal tools that every man needs. So you don't have to think about, I wonder.
My uncle Greg might use it, but my dad might not use it. No, everyone will use everything.
They have a product for everything that a man needs in terms of hygiene and men's grooming. So without further ado, go into the website, pick whatever you need, TCB at checkout, 20% off, free shipping. You'd be dumb not to do it.
Lovely.
Alrighty, time for some rare units. I think we got a bit carried away there with all that World Cup stuff, so I don't know how long that went for. But
I will not apologize.
I will not apologize. We had too much fun with that. I got 2 quick rare units, which I've come across in the last few weeks that I want to flame here, I guess. The first one, this one's a bit of a random one, actually. So we were coming back from Melbourne, and we were at the airport, and our flight was at 7 a.m. So we were at the airport at probably 6 a.m. or something. And then So it was like 6 a.m. We got like a toasty, and I was just sitting there. And the Argentina-Mexico game had actually just kicked off, so I was watching that. And then like to the table next to me, there was like an old couple, and I'm like, whatever. They're like, and then one of them was just like reading the newspaper, and the other one was just on their phone. And then like maybe like 5-10 minutes into the game, I kind of look across, and like the older woman had like her phone up, and she was like had the phone to her ear, like she was trying to listen to something. And then I'm like, okay, whatever. Like these people probably don't have earphones or whatever. And then I looked onto her screen to what she was listening to, and she was like listening to like anti-vax conspiracy theories. And she was like, and it was like around the time that Victoria had their election, and it was obviously, you know, they had biggest lockdowns, and you know how they had like a large anti-vax minority or whatever.
Yeah.
So, you know, par for the course. But like she was like playing it out loud as well. And she was like skipping to like another video, and like for like Dessa, I was watching it for half an hour. She was just having the good time of her life. And like I saw her, she was like, they had like a WhatsApp group, and I'm pretty sure it was like a WhatsApp anti-vax group, because like they had so many videos in there. And so she was just like having the time of her life scrolling through. And then I looked at her husband, and he was, I don't know, reading like a JB Hi-Fi. No, he wouldn't be JB, like a Harvey Norman brochure. And then I saw in his pocket, sticking out, he had a tub of toothpaste and a toothbrush just in his pocket. And he was wearing like those cargo pants, and like it was like those, like it had a Velcro, but the Velcro was open, and like sticking out was toothpaste and a toothbrush. And then, but I saw the conspiracy thing first, and then I saw that, and I'm like, well, that just makes sense then, really. Like when you're that much of a loony, that's just a normal par for the course for you. and then I think they noticed me staring, because then they left, and then like as they were going, he's like, oh, and they saw me watching the game. He's like, is your team winning? I look up to the screen, it was 0-0, and I look back at him, and I'm like, yeah, they're winning, bro. What? What was the strange behavior? And I don't know what to think of it. I'm like, was I delirious? Did I imagine this at 6 o'clock in the morning?
No, absolutely not. Shit like that happens. Was she playing it out loud in a sense that other people could hear?
No, I think because she just couldn't hear.
It was personally for herself, because I would have said it was rarer
if she was playing for everyone.
She was playing like for herself to her ear.
Yeah.
But that would seem like the type of person that wouldn't have earphones, to be honest.
Exactly.
Toothpaste and toothbrush in the pocket. I don't know how weird that is, I'll be honest with you. In the pocket, yes, but I feel like it's... but
what's weirder? I think toothpaste in the pocket, fine. Toothbrush in the pocket is a bit weird.
No, both being in the pocket is weird.
No, at least both together makes sense. If it was just one or the other, I'd be even more confused.
No, because sometimes, you know, you're at the airport, you just want to brush your teeth, you're on the plane, but at the same time, it was Melbourne, right?
Yeah.
Domestic.
Yeah.
Are you gone for that long? You need to brush your teeth?
No, you could have just done it before. And also, fine, if you want to do that, do it. You can do it. That's fine. Why is it in your pocket, man? That's so strange.
That is true. The bristles are grinding.
Yes.
Pockets open as well. Like airport germs are going to your teeth. Maybe that's how they build up the immunity. What? So they don't need the vaccine.
Oh, maybe.
You never know. Maybe that's the methodology.
But then I actually did. Once I was walking away, I got a good look of them, and they just looked anti-vax. You know what I mean? You know how people just look anti-vax? Yeah. And then, okay, I don't know, maybe this part might have to get cut out. So we were at the airport, and then I saw another person, and she was, you know, I don't want to speak out of school here, but she was morbidly obese.
That's fine. You can say it.
Like she had
factual
7 chins, like cankles, like the whole thing. Like I don't want to be mean here, but the thing is, right? And she was talking very loudly to someone else. And again, it was like literally the night after the election, the morning after the election, and then the left-wing candidate had won, and she was obviously opposed, like she was a
right
fan
wing.
of the right-wing, and so she was like again going on about the vaccine mandates. She was proudly saying, you know, I'm not anti-vax. I'm not vaccinated. You should be allowed to choose if you're not vaccinated. Blah blah blah. And then in my mind, I'm like, bro, you're literally the target for this vaccine. Like you are immunocompromised, surely. Like if you get COVID or some sort of like, you know, not even just COVID vaccine, vaccines in general, if you get something, bro, you're going down.
Yeah.
Your antibodies are not fighting this, bro. Your antibodies are too busy fighting other things in your body. So like, bro, they're doing this to help you. You're like literally the most at-risk patient for all this.
Yeah, but she has to pay $100 more tax, so of course she's going to vote the other way.
It's just frustrating.
That's the thing. Not to get political.
No, not to get political, but I'm just like, how can you not see that?
No, but that's how. I think that's just how human nature is. Left wing, right wing, whatever it may be. People don't care until it affects them.
It affects them.
She doesn't care. Probably hasn't gotten COVID. Doesn't care. She hasn't got the vaccine.
She wants her freedoms.
She wants her freedoms, but she will want Other
Spend the
things,
time
when
the
it gets
feeding's eating, man. Probably gonna have to cut that part out.
until it reaches their lungs, people like that don't care about the vaccine or whatever. They just care that they weren't able to go out for. Will she go out for a walk? No, I can't say that either.
I don't know, man. But it was just,
she couldn't meet her friends. She couldn't go out to wherever. So that's all she cares about. What affects her is what she cares about.
That's true.
Same with these anti-vax people. But once it hits them, once it hits their lungs, they're going to be singing.
It was equally baffling and just funny at the same time. Like, dude, come on. Like,
I'm glad you didn't enter that story saying the fact that she was morbidly obese was the rare part.
No. This was a second rare. Anyway, so I got one more rare one.
Moving on.
I got a rare one and then a bit of a question. So this was at work. Actually, no, sorry. These are two separate incidents. So I'll talk about the work one first. This was the rare unit. I just went to the bathroom. Oh, sorry. I should have said it's our favorite kind of rare unit at this podcast, the bathroom rare units.
Our retention's gone back up.
Yeah, exactly. So I just, went to the bathroom, and then I'm pretty sure all the stalls were free, but all the urinals were free as well. So I'm like, I'm just going to use the urinal. So the way it works is there was 4 individual urinals, and then right behind it are 4 stalls. So then I went, and maybe this might have been on me. Maybe I brought upon this, but I went into one of the middle urinals, and I was like going away at it. And then another person comes into the bathroom, and then for whatever reason decides to go into the stall right behind me, which is like, fine, whatever. The only problem is he never closed the stall door, and then he just starts whizzing, and he pisses straight into the water as well. So it's so loud. The door's open. He's standing right behind me, and then on top of that, he starts humming. He starts humming a song.
I can't rate this.
Mate, I was half pissed. I just like quickly zipped up, washed my hands, and ran out of there. I'm like, bro, this guy's a psychopath.
All right, that he doesn't. You've been cucked.
Oh, big time. I was a big alphaing, but like that is also the most rare behavior I've seen.
Yeah,
because the thing is, right?
No, but there are sometimes I use a toilet, a cubicle, and I don't close the door.
Absolutely do that. But there was 3 other free urinals. So he could have just stood. Like, there was one on the far corner. He could have just used that one.
So is part of the rareness using the toilet, the cubicle over a urinal?
Yes, that's one part of the. Yes,
people do that though.
No, okay.
I don't agree with it, but people do that.
The rareness is he didn't close the stall door. He stood in the one right behind me when there was 3 other stalls that were available.
That is fair. The
and there was a perfectly good urinal to the right of me, and then he started humming.
The positioning is off.
Off.
Use one of the other ones. Be aware.
So off.
The humming.
The humming was just the icing on the cake.
Funny because he just doesn't give a shit.
Each man was in his own world, and I respect it.
Yeah, it's rare. You should be courteous of other people, but at the same time, you've been fucking cucked. He doesn't get. He's not going home sitting on his podcast.
That's true. That
saying
is
about how some bloke just pissed in a urinal that was near him.
Maybe we can recount this one on Cuck Will Be Cucked in a few weeks, and we can figure out how I can cuck him back. I got one more question then, with more toilet humor here. So when you come to a bathroom and you come to, so there's the individual urinals, but then there's the trough.
Oh yeah,
the waterfall. When you go to that, so you go. There's the trough.
I think I know your question.
There's the floor.
Yeah.
There's railing.
There's the grill.
And then there's a cement, like a up. It's like it's a bit higher up.
The grill is attached to the cement.
And then it comes down, and it's the floor. Where do you stand?
I play it safe these days. I stand on the floor.
So like behind. So you're standing like down basically, because like you have to step up onto the cement and then the grill.
This changes because you can tell there are times where other people have only stood on the cement.
Yeah.
And on the floor, and the cement and the rails are piss.
Yeah.
That's when I'm like, I'm just going to add to it. I don't want to step in people's piss.
But then what if your pee doesn't have the range?
But I think you should be standing on.
Mine's an SMG, not a sniper, bro.
You stand on the cement, right? Not the rail.
I stand on the cement. But then I caught myself the other day, which is why I was thinking about it, because I caught myself standing on the rail.
What's the purpose of the rail then?
Exactly. That's what I was standing on. I'm like, I got to be able to stand here, right?
You stand on the rail.
I think you do stand on the rail. But
sometimes when you piss, it like dribbles down.
Yeah.
And I think that's what's meant to like catch it, right? So if you stand on cement, you might go down the cement, but also into the yeah. If you're a woman out there, you won't understand. We
didn't have any women listeners. So
we looked this up. We had 6%.
Yeah, we did.
So the 6% out of there. Respect.
But where do you stand?
I think it's a problem because functionally and by design, you stand on the rail.
Yeah.
But not enough of the population knows that it defeats the purpose of the rail.
Yeah.
Because people piss all over the rail, they piss all over the cement.
See, I don't like that it's situational. I want one answer for everything. No matter where I am in the world, no matter which bathroom I'm in, I want a definitive answer.
So
where am I standing?
When sometimes when you go to a cubicle, it tells you not to squat. It gives you a picture of what to do.
Yeah.
I tell we need that at the rail-based urinals.
I think so, 100%.
Fair
Because no one knows and everyone's just pissing everywhere. It's anarchy. It's piss anarchy.
So do you depend on how the situation is?
Yeah.
If there's piss on the
if
cement?
I see if there's piss on the cement, I'm long ranging it.
Yeah, it's fair. Fair enough.
So why you listen to this podcast for cutting edge?
We teach you how to piss.
Exactly. Alrighty, that brings us to the end of a rather long episode.
But quality as per usual.
Quality as per usual. Once again, me and Manny left to do the hard yards here. I think our fourth, just us two episode. So if you are sick of hearing us but just banging on about soccer for no reason, message Ro and Kush. In fact, harass them. I think they both work during the day, so they'll be free at night. So if anything, message them at night incessantly, telling them to come onto the podcast.
What variation haven't we had? I've been thinking about this.
I think we've had me and Ro, me and you. I don't think have we had you and Kush maybe.
Kush and I haven't had. Have you and Kush?
I think you and Kush and me and Kush have. Actually, no, I've had me, Kush, and we had a guest on. Does that count?
No, it has to be the
Have we had Ro and Kush?
One-on-one date. We've had Ro and Kush. We've had Ro and Kush and Dimitri as well.
Oh, we did. So we had me, Kush, and an extra person. So, let us know if you want to hear one of these combinations or if you would want all four of us back.
Or maybe fucking three. We're not even asking for much.
Exactly. We'll try our best next week. But also, we are at the end of the year, and you might have been seeing a lot of Spotify raps during the week. I remember seeing a lot of Kanye ones a couple of days ago, and I'm sure those people feel real silly right now.
No longer seeing them anymore.
No, exactly. But if you are on Spotify and you do listen to us on Spotify, and I know there are quite a few of you out there, and we are in your top 5, top 10. Yeah, just take a screenshot, put it on your story on your Instagram, and we'll restory it. We've done a few already.
We'll share it around.
So we've done a few already, and we always love to see that kind of support. So yeah, definitely if you want to do that, chuck it on your story. Just tag us and we'll restory it.
So let us know.